Living with MS or chronic illness is hard. It is freaking hard. I've been in a very reflective mood lately as I recently passed an anniversary of my diagnosis, and today I'm going to continue my musings. Today, we're going to talk about relationships. Before we jump in, though, a reminder. On my channel, I share my thoughts about living well with MS and chronic illness. This does not mean that my thoughts are medical advice, and it does not mean that my thoughts will necessarily agree with your thoughts. It just means that I'm thoughtful. Living with MS and chronic illness can be really hard on relationships, right? The disease not only affects us, but those around us too. I recently watched a video from a lovely woman named Dee who does a vlog about life. She read this poem, Let Them, and then shared her thoughts on it. I'll put a link to it in the description below if you'd like to check it out after this one. I've also seen some tattoos and t-shirts with the words Let Them, and in the last few years I've seen blogs and newsletters about it too. And as I've been in a reflective mood lately, I reread this poem. It's quite wonderful. I'd like to read it for you today and share my thoughts on it and how it may help us with relationships and living with MS or chronic illness. Before we continue, could I ask you to like the video and subscribe, please? This is important because it supports the channel and it helps it to reach more people. Thanks. Let Them by Cassie Phillips. Just let them. If they want to choose something or someone over you, let them. If they want to go weeks without talking to you, let them. If they are okay with never seeing you, let them. If they are okay with always putting themselves first, let them. If they are showing you who they are, not what you perceive them to be, let them. If they want to follow the crowd, let them. If they want to judge or misunderstand you, let them. If they act like they can live without you, let them. If they want to walk out of your life and leave, hold the door open and let them. Let them lose you. You were never theirs because you were always your own. So let them. Let them show you who they truly are, not tell you. Let them prove how worthy they are of your time. Let them make the necessary steps to be a part of your life. Let them earn your forgiveness. Let them call and talk about ordinary things. Let them take you out on a Thursday. Let them talk about anything and everything just because it's you they are talking to. Let them have a safe place in you. Let them see the heart in you that didn't harden. Let them love you. It's a pretty powerful piece. The first half is a bit challenging. It's about letting go of control, of releasing our hold on our hurt feelings, and possibly letting go of relationships. Letting people go. Letting them do what they're going to do. It's also about keeping our peace of mind. People are who they are, and us thinking we can change them? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Part of me sees the first part of this poem as a release, as a shrug of our shoulders. There isn't anything we can do about what other people think or do. Everybody gets to choose what they think and how they behave. Letting them do it without attachment is kind of freeing. When we detach ourselves, we give ourselves peace of mind. We give ourselves the gift of peace. Last week, I talked about ruminating and how good I am at it. I can chew on things over and over. I'll put a link to that video above and in the description below if you'd like to check it out after this one. Ruminating on why people do things or being hurt by their choices can steal a lot of our time and our peace of mind. If we can take a let them attitude, it can help. They get to be themselves, and we can let them be themselves. If we flip the first part of the poem back on ourselves, we can probably remember times when we chose to walk away or chose not to communicate, times when we may have followed the crowd or perhaps misjudged someone. Oh, holding the mirror up to ourselves, that can be hard. There were more than a few moments living with my MS and its symptoms where I did a lot of the things in the first half of the poem. I may have withdrawn or maybe not communicated with others as I grappled with my diagnosis or my symptoms. Have you experienced this? Let me know in the comments below. The middle of this poem is so important. It says, "You were never theirs because you were always your own." Even though it's only one little line, it's huge. It reminds us that we are always our own. We don't belong to other people, and they don't belong to us. Losing touch with people can really sting, especially if we think it's connected to our illness. I often need to remind myself that sometimes it has nothing to do with me. If someone chooses not to be with me, or if we lose touch, it may be something they are going through. Everyone has something they're dealing with. Everyone has times where they struggle. They may be struggling with work, or family, or bills, or their own health concerns. They may be distracted by shiny objects, or distracted by other relationships. Or maybe they're having a hard time dealing with our diagnosis. They're not sure what to say or how to respond, so they don't say anything, or they withdraw. And the second half of this poem is the juicy part. It's about letting people back in. It's about being open and looking for opportunities and reconciliation. Did you notice that each line in the second half starts with the word "let them" instead of ending with the words "let them"? It's more about us than them. It's about being open to letting them back in. As an experiment, hear it with the words "allow them to" instead of the words "let them." Allow them to show you who they truly are, not tell you. Allow them to prove how worthy they are of your time. Allow them to make the necessary steps to be part of your life. Allow them to earn your forgiveness. Allow them to call you to talk about ordinary things. Allow them to take you out on a Thursday. Allow them to talk about anything and everything, just because it's you they're talking to. Allow them to have a safe place in you. Allow them to see the heart in you that didn't harden. Allow them to love you. Oh, dang. This part is harder than the first part. It means I have to let go of the hurt, let go of the sadness. It's about looking for the good. It's about letting go of the hurt and welcoming them back and rebuilding the relationship. It's about grace, offering grace, letting them back in. So for me, this poem is about the whole experience. It's about letting people be who they are, letting me be who I am, and being open to allowing changes in relationships. What does this poem say to you? If you were to fill in the blank, I will let them, what would it be? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my newsletter. Until next time, be well.